this is going to be a little bit different kind of video. So this video is not for everyone. In my life, in my retirement, in my grown-up years, whatever you want to call it, these next stages of life, I really want to, I've never been exposed to surfing or any of those kind of water sports. I do paddleboarding. I've got my paddleboard right here, which I love. I wouldn't say I'm great at it, but I enjoy it a lot. I'm enthusiastic about it, and I keep going out and doing more with it. But I really want to learn to surf. I think that would be awesome. I would really love to learn to like, maybe, what is that, like sail surfing kind of thing where you've got the thing too. But I mean, I've done water skiing. I've done, like boarding and stuff. I want to get good at all of those things. I mainly just wasn't ever really raised in a place that we did a lot of water sports. I love the water. I'm a water baby. I'm a Pisces. I enjoy the water, but I would like to truly learn how to do it. So what you're watching, or what I'm watching with you, is my first attempt at this balance board that I have. With the intention of trying to work on improving my balance. I did ballet. I was on point for 20 years of my life. I can stand on one box of toes and do stuff, but this was a totally different ball of wax here. So I thought this was a really interesting experiment, and I want to do this much more frequently. The reason this video is not for everyone is because most people aren't going to have any care about watching me poorly practice a balance board. But what I'm asking for is for those of you who do have any kind of interest in balance, surfing, any of the kind of water sports, and I want this to translate also to snowboarding. I want to learn how to cross-country ski. I would like to learn how to snow ski. But this knowledge, this balance, will translate into all kinds of other things. I went skateboarding recently, and even though I used to live on my skateboard when I was in like the 4th grade, that was a long time ago. And so I was shocked at how poor my balance was there also. I think it would be fun to skateboard. I have a skateboard. There's no reason I have the supplies. I have the locations. I have sidewalks and streets. So there's no reason why I can't do all of these things, but I'd like to get better at them. So what I would like from you is, if you know what you're looking at, please kind of evaluate the practices here. Now, I have been watching all kinds of kind of lessons about learning how to surf from a very beginning standpoint. And so I know that me rocking back and forth on this balance board is a very minor step in the equation. I know that paddling and that kind of endurance is about 90% of what I'm going to encounter when I actually start attempting to surf. But that being said, and I also know that a cylinder that only really rolls in one direction for the most part isn't the perfect representation of being on a surfboard that's moving in all different directions. And I say surfboard, I'm going to use surfing as my kind of catch-all umbrella term for all of the balance sports that I want to learn how to do. I don't need to be a master at it. I don't need to compete in it. I'm good. I just would like to learn how to do it because it's always fascinated me, and because I enjoy learning new things and I enjoy challenging my body in new ways. So in this practice, on this balance board on this first day, my goal was to rock back and forth. It wasn't to balance at, perpendicular with the board to the ground. I was truly just trying to get more and more comfortable with going back and forth and back and forth and changing my foot positions in a purposeful way. I don't know if you can see, I was actually watching kind of a surf inspo video at the same time. I kind of had it going, so I had like surf sounds happening in the background, which was very cool. But I also would look over and kind of see what their feet looked like, see where their foot placement was. So I would love any kind of input you have if you are familiar with any of these sports, if you're familiar with balance boards, if you're familiar with truly learning from scratch how to start implementing at home different exercises and practices that can make me better at the things that I want to learn. I want to actually take lessons on in these sports, but I want to, while I'm still at home, I want to also do my part in making sure that I'm as prepared as possible, that my body is ready. And I'm telling you, this was about, the video is only about 8 minutes, but all told, it was about a 26-minute practice, I believe. And the rest of the day, after just this 26 minutes of practicing rocking back and forth on this balance board, with lots of errors and mess ups in between, I felt like I had gone through a full Pilates session, in that my insides were just jello. Like, you could tell I had really been working stabilizing muscles that maybe don't always get all that much work. So it was a very cool experience and a very cool practice. And one that I'd like to do more frequently. But I'd love, your ideas on technique if you have them. I'd love your ideas if if you weren't just born in the water, if you had to learn, particularly if you had to learn some of these sports or practices a little bit later in life, kind of once you were a little bit more set in your ways, for lack of a better way to put it, because truly our bodies, we don't trust our bodies to move in the same ways that we did as children, right? The older we get, kind of the further we get away from trusting our bodies to do what they're supposed to be doing, or what we think that they could do. So I'm curious as to what your experiences have been. I've been doing a lot of research on like the best times of year and locations for truly newbie surfers to learn. And so that's kind of how I'm tailoring when I go, where I go, and who I learn from. So I would love your input. Thank you so much. If you have been with me for almost 9 minutes, I appreciate it, because I want to get better at this and all kinds of things. I want to get better, and you can help.